YouTube? It's your girl Mika Marche. Okay, and I'm back and I'm better, y'all. Um, Today I'm gonna do a story time on my mama. Um, how I guess like I could say what happened as far as how she passed. Um, it's like a long story, but I'm trying to make the long story short. I'm gonna try to get through it without being emotional because today's been a good day for me. I have not been emotional, so we won't start right now. Whatever. So before I get too far into this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you'll be notified every time that I post a video. I just got this tissue because my nose, I got a little cold. See, I can't tell. Yeah. So, but so it starts it started back in like 2007. 2007. That's when Kiki graduated. She was a senior in high school. Um, and the day that it happened was crazy. So it happened on April 14th. Me, Ty, and Jan, we all went to the same school. It was in middle school. Um, so my mom and my stepdad came and picked us up, and then like the vibe was kind of off. So we were like, "Hey, what's wrong?" Like we gotta go to the hospital. I'm like, "What's wrong? Why we gotta go to the hospital?" Mom was like, "I'm not feeling good." Um, me, Lisa, and we just got in a wreck. They already at the hospital. So I'm like, huh? So like, I'm an emotional person. Anybody that knows me knows that. So like, I just bust out crying, and because I didn't know like what was going on, and so Jan and Ty was getting so mad, like, bro, stop crying, stop that crying, whatever. So we get to the hospital. We got to KU. When we got to the hospital, um, like mama tried to get out the car, and she was in so much pain. And so I'm like, Mom, you okay? You all right? You want me to get your wheelchair? She like, yeah, please. And anybody that knows my mama, like, they know she didn't um, do all that. Like, she always been super independent, a hard worker, everything. Like, if you know Michelle, you know, right? So, her asked me to get her a wheelchair. I was not confused, but it was just a shock to me. So, I went to go get her wheelchair, wheeled her in there, whatever. They took her back. Looked at them, everything looked fine. They got released from the hospital, I want to say the next day, maybe even the same day. Yeah, I believe it was the same day. So, um, my Lisa had a concussion. My auntie Wu had a concussion. And then, I don't remember everything. I remember bits and pieces of as far as that goes. So then, okay, cool. Boom. So, fast forward, we live in Missouri. Um, at the time on 12th Street. So, Truman was like a hop and skip and a jump away. So mama started making appointments, going to Truman and stuff. And because she could still walk at this time, she was still able to walk, still able to drive, everything. But like it started like she started declining. That makes sense. And so she's like, something is wrong with me. Like doctors was trying to tell her it was just in her head. Like we went to a bunch of different doctors. And so when she started going to Truman, the first thing they did was gave her a biopsy. It's like they cut a little piece of, you know, skin and they tested. So they gave her a biopsy and she found out she had a muscle disease. So she was just like taken aback, like how is this even possible? Like I'm 37. How Did I just get a muscle disease out of nowhere? So they told her that it's been in her body the entire time, but it takes something dramatic to bring it out, something traumatic to bring it out. So when you have kids and stuff like that, it's a lot on your body. So some people um, have kids, they give birth, and it'll bring out the disease or whatever. So she had a rare muscle disease to where it's like only 100,000 people in the world had it. So fast forward, she found out she had this muscle disease, and it's like after that, like everything was just like downhill. Like at first, she like lay down. She couldn't like lift her head to get up, like lift herself up. None of that stuff. Like when she was down, she was down. It's kind of almost like she was a paraplegic. So I would like have to pick her up, take her to the restroom, all that stuff. At 12, like, and so it's kind of like dead weight because she couldn't do anything, right? And so that's how that was. And then she went to start going to rehab facilities, like this rehab facility far out and stuff like that. Just like now, talking about it, thinking back, it's like um, as young as we was, that would have an effect on any kid. Um, I would think. So it's like you're not raising yourself, but kinda, because it ain't like, just being honest, my daddy didn't step in and say, hey, they can move with me and I got them. It wasn't that, it was Kiki had to step up and help out where she could, or we would stay at my oldest sister's house. Like, stuff like that. Go over my and Lisa's house, spend the night over there, or stay at home. Me, Ty, and y'all would have to stay at home, and then we had my Uncle C live with us. But he minded his own business. He wasn't like, making sure, like, we wasn't his responsibility, if that makes sense. So, um, yeah, all this stuff, and she had to spend all this time in rehab and facilities and just a bunch of different stuff. So they put her on a medicine. She started to get better so they brought her back home to the point to where um, she started taking steps like on her own, or like in order for I would help her to the bathroom, but I wouldn't have to pick her up. She would walk with me, like her arms around me, and we would literally walk to the bathroom. Like I got a picture in my phone. I'm gonna see if I can insert it. Um, but I got a picture, and it looked like we was just hugging, or she was standing up, but we was dancing on that picture. Like at that time, I just felt like everything was like so awesome. Like everything was great. She was getting so much better, and then I remember at first when she wasn't doing nothing, um, Jan had got so discouraged, and she like, "I'm gonna be okay, nephew. Like I'm gonna be okay." And he was like, "No, you ain't, Michelle. You ain't gonna never walk again." And she started crying. She like, "Don't say that." And it's like, damn. But to see a person like this, the same person they get up and go to work every day, like working long shifts. She's working hard, like my entire life until she couldn't. Right? This is a person. So to see that, you would think that, especially as a child, but you, I never said anything about that. So she got better. And then she didn't like the way the medicine made her feel because she would start feeling like sick to her stomach for days at a time because it was like drawn up, and then she would have to like get shot in her stomach like once a week type stuff. She didn't like the way it made her feel, so they took her off the medicine. When they took her off the medicine, she didn't decline all the way back to where she first started at, but it definitely wasn't the same anymore. She had more strength than she had at the beginning, but she didn't have as much strength as she had when she was on the medicine. So that was like, a bulk of the time. This is all, over years. over time, you know. Yeah, so um, this is all over here. So anyway, I'm gonna fast forward to about 2016. Um, we had to like we kept being in and out of the doctors. I mean the hospital. Because she was having a hard time breathing and um, getting stuff down. She just kept being sick. And like anybody that knew my mama knew, like she hated hospitals. So for her to ask to go to hospital and stuff like that, you knew something was really wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, um, like one day I remember calling MJ, my oldest brother, and I was just bawling, crying. We've always, me and all my siblings, honestly, but we've always had like a relationship where I knew that I could call him and cry to him, or just whatever it is that I needed to talk to him about. And so this particular day, I had called him crying, and I don't know why I think God, I don't, and that's the scary part, right? It's like I see death, and I don't like that. Like, um, I just really don't like that. I don't know why God, I don't know if people want to call it a gift or whatever, but I don't like that. My grandma was passing. I told mom and them, like, I'm telling y'all, she gonna die tomorrow. Like, don't send me to school. No, I said she gonna die on Halloween. I said, do not send me to school. And she died on Halloween. When so this is a year prior. He didn't give me like any type of insight as to when mom was gonna die, but he showed me that she was gonna die. So I called my brother crying like, I'm telling you, bro, like something is wrong, like something is really wrong. He like, sister, what's going on? Like, what's the matter? I'm like, mama is dying. Like she's dying. And he like, no, she ain't. Don't say that. I'm like, yes, she is, bro. Like she can't keep nothing down. She will not eat. Like it was just a lot of things. And it's not that she wasn't eating because she didn't want to eat. She wasn't eating because she couldn't. Like she would eat Cheetos. Mama never been like a Cheetos person. She'd eat Cheetos. Anything she ate, y'all, like it would get stuck because it's a muscle disease. And so when I was in college, and like everything is a muscle. Not everything, but like your lungs, all this stuff. You got throat muscles to help you swallow and let stuff go down. So when I was in college, I had like a speech assignment. It was like an informative speech, and I felt like I knew a lot about that illness, but I also wanted to know more. So I did a speech on that, and I knew that um, in the end stages of that disease, that's what happened, right? Um, so it's like I knew that part of it. I just had a feeling. So I'm like, oh God, just please keep my mama here. Like we need her. I need her. My siblings need her. Her grandkids need her. Like, and at the time, like my biggest, everybody was so worried about me. When I say everybody, I mean like everybody. But we're like, I know it might sound like odd or whatever. I was worried about my siblings, but I was more so worried about my auntie, my Lisa, which is her sister, because I felt like she had already, we all lost the same people, right? But she had lost so much because she lost her mama, right? I'm like, that's my grandma, but that's her mama. And then, yeah, and I'm like, that's my cousin, like, that's my brother, but that's her son, right? So if this is hurting me like this to lose these people, I know she hurt me. Her mom was like this. It was like best friends, like was best friends together every day type stuff. So I felt like she didn't have nobody. I got my siblings. That's how I felt at that moment, if I'm honest. And so, yeah. So I was worried about her. Um, but I was telling my brother that he had came over there, I was in a car. Our mom didn't know what was going on. He came over there and checked on her and was talking to us and stuff, and it was just a lot. But then her birthday is April the 30th, and I remember that birthday, she wasn't feeling good at all. But for some reason, we wanted to do a dinner because we it's like we knew that that would be her last birthday with us. It's not like it was a memorable one, but I am happy that we were able to do that. But we had a dinner, like all our family and friends came over. We was, um, partying. Everybody was. She was a heavy smoker, so people smoking and drinking and we eating good food. And she like, if we have my dinner, everybody's gotta leave by like 7. I forgot the time, but the time had came and Queen made sure everybody left. Okay, y'all, we still need to get some rest now. It's time for everybody to go. Like, oh. And one thing I can honestly say about my daddy's side is they are so supportive. Like, so supportive. And that's why I say all the time, like, I'm so grateful. You know? Like, I don't know, yeah, I'm getting off subject, but they're so supportive. So that's what happened. And then, so like 2016, we spent Thanksgiving in the hospital. Um, I want to say she was in there for Halloween. It was 2 holidays. It was Christmas. No, it was for Thanksgiving, and then she was in the hospital a couple days before Christmas. And she told them, "Y'all gonna have to let me go. I'm not staying here for Christmas. I was in here for Thanksgiving. I'm going to be with my family. So we just need you to get better." Needless to say, God made a way. She was able to go home, and that was like one of the best Christmases ever that we've ever spent together since being an adult, right? I feel. Um, so yeah, and we had like Thanksgiving food. We had my Aunt Lisa cooked this big old like a Thanksgiving. Then we always do extra stuff. She cooked this whole dinner by herself. Came to the hospital, bought all the food. We had to eat at the hospital, y'all. Like in the waiting room. My whole not my whole family, but me and my siblings up there studying. You hear me? Like she can't leave. We not leaving. And that's just like the love. That just should show you like the love, you know. But I don't have to say much because if you know us, you really know. You know what I'm saying? But so anyway, fast forward to um, September 22nd, 2017. She, I was at work that day. Um, she was in a hospital. And it's crazy because it's like she knew. But anyway, she had told me, um, Book, no matter what happened, she used to call me Book. No matter what happened, promise me you're gonna get this paper. And I'm like, ma'am, she like, promise me you're gonna get this bread, you're gonna keep going to work. Cause you know I quit a job in a minute when it comes to her. You know, like, nah, this don't fit my schedule. Nah, ain't nobody help my mama, I'm gone. Like, you know. So that's how it was. And then I'm like, I promise. So this particular day, she was in the hospital because she had low iron. We went to the emergency room. They kept her. This is the second day she was there. Well, technically the third day, because that night I didn't call nobody. Cause I'm like, they gonna let her right back out. Cause any other time we all in the hospital, like in the emergency room with her, all of us. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Didn't tell nobody until the next day when they said it was gonna keep her. And so Kiki had been there with her all day because she worked from home, so she was working while she was at the hospital. And I was supposed to come up there and relieve her. And so I'm like, okay, so her and her husband could go somewhere. Dante can go. So I'm like, okay, I'll be there. And that night though, we were supposed to go to my cousin who had a show. Um, So I had to find an outfit for the show. So I went up there or whatever. Okay. And then I was sitting with her and stuff, and I remember I made a snap because I was trying to have her eat. She would not eat. I'm like, I made a snap. I'm like, my mom is so stubborn. I swear she would never eat. And so Ty had came, him and the girls and Donis or whatever. They had came, and then his baby mama. So we all up there just talking, laughing. The whole time we thinking mom asleep, y'all. Like she came in, they came in. He said hi to her and stuff and all this. So I'm like, okay, bro, I'm about to go. He like, all right. And I look, and I'm about to leave, and I go over and give her a kiss. And she had like a BiPAP machine on. So I took it off, and I just see her foaming at the mouth, like, what the hell? I'm like, mama, like, trying to wake her up. I'm like, mama. She ain't saying nothing. So I pressed the nurse, but I think I'm tripping. I'm like, can y'all come in here? Something wrong with my mama. And so the nurse came in there. She looked at the machine. She's like, no, she's fine. Her vitals, her heart still beating, her vitals, everything looks good. I'm like, something is wrong, bro. Like, something is wrong. They was like, can you guys please get out the room? And then they called a cold blue. And so, like, everybody know what cold blue is, so I just lost it, bro. Like, I lost it. Mind you, Kiki gone. So then they like, um, me and mama had a debate about this when she was in the emergency room. Cause I was like, oh, you're a DNR, right? And she was like, yeah. This was the last when we first went to the emergency room this time. I'm like, that's selfish. Why would you do that? You got kids and grandkids. Why would why would you make yourself a DNR? She was like, Book, I am tired. I'm tired, baby. I'm sorry. Mama just tired. And I felt so bad because it's like, how can you sit here and make it about yourself? Like, I'm not the one going through this. Like, you see her going through this, and of course you're hurting, but physically, she's feeling everything. Like, I apologize. I'm like, Mama, I'm so sorry. Like, if that's what you want to do, like, just do it. If you want to be a DNR, be a DNR. I promise. Like, whatever your wish is, I'm sorry. And so then when the doctor came back in, she was like, I'm sorry, Doc. You can take me off. Um, take the DNR off. You can resuscitate me if something was to happen. And I'm like, no, Mama, don't make that decision for us. You made your decision. I'm sorry. Like, you're right. So she was a DNR, y'all, mind you. So when this stuff happened, they came in there. It was like, who's the oldest? And I'm like, our sister, she not here. It's like, can you call her? Can you get on the phone? Yeah, I'm like, um, Kiki, they said they saying this, and she like, what y'all want to do? Even though we just had this conversation, the selfish part of me just wanted my mama to still be here. So I'm like, please, just whatever y'all can do, just save her. Um, and so they resuscitated her or whatever, and she was on life support for 2 weeks, y'all. Nothing she ever wanted to do. Nothing. Never. But we did that because we had faith in God, strong faith, right? Say faith of a mustard seed. We had strong faith in God, and we just knew He was gonna bring her out of this, and she was gonna have a testimony like any other time. Cause she was like, let me tell you what God did for me. Like she'll tell anybody that. So I'm like, I can just picture her like she's gonna be okay. No, she wasn't okay. So after a week, they were rushing us, whatever, um, to take her off life support, and I'm like, no, I'm not ready. Like It was up and down. But I do thank God. Like, I hate that we put her through things that she didn't want to go through. I really do. Like, I live with that every day. But I feel like in that moment, God allowed us to do that because He taught us. He taught me a lesson, if nothing else. And that lesson was to never depend on man. See, I was too busy listening to the doctors. Oh, she's good. Oh, she has brain activity. Then the next minute, it's well, she's not doing any good. She's not doing well at all. You would have to do this. And it's just like I had my faith in the doctors instead of having faith in God. So that situation right there taught me never put your faith in man, never. Because at the end of the day, if a miracle happened, it's not because of them doctors. It's because God sent you those doctors. If a miracle happened, it's because whatever it is that He puts in place for us that happens, that we call a miracle, that we call whatever, a testimony, it came from God. So don't ever put your faith in man. I swear that's what that situation taught me. So I am so grateful for that part, honestly. Um, but so let everybody know we was gonna take her off of life support. We took her off of life support at on October the 7th. They took her off at 7 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock p.m. Family was just gathered around with so many people, right? Like it's like they was waiting on her to die. And in hindsight, now I wish I would have never done that. I wish it would have been more intimate, like just call her like our immediate family. But whatever. Um, she was still holding on. Like she was struggling, but she was doing it. She was doing it, you know. And my auntie was like, my sister was like, Mama, you got this, baby. You ain't gotta hold on for me. And then Tom said the same thing, and I'm looking at them like they crazy as hell. And my auntie was like, oh, Nico, she's waiting on you. And she told me this story about how her nephew did it to her sister, and her sister took her last breath. And I said, I'm not doing that. At the time, I was just angry because I'm not ready to let my mama go. And you're not gonna sit here and tell me that I got to in order for her to go. So I was pissed off. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't say nothing. So everybody left that night. I slept in the bed with her that night, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous, thinking that in the middle of the night, um, she would stop breathing, and they would have to wake me up. But that wasn't the case. It wasn't. She held on, y'all. Like she's always been a fighter, and until the very end, like she continued to fight. You know, like um, and so Papa and Donna stayed there. They spent the night at the hospital. And you know they kids, so at that moment they asking all these questions. What that mean? What does that mean? That morning we woke up. Um, Dante prayed for her. He was giving her a bath, washing her face. Me and Kiki, Ty, we all in there. And Donaldson, Papa, and they asking all these questions. And over time, it's like Dante left, y'all. Um, and we started having conversation with her because they can still hear. And Kiki was like, it's because her breath was getting shorter and shorter. Kiki told her again, my mama gonna be okay. You know I'm gonna be okay. I got God. And I said, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, mama, but I'm gonna be okay. And I think that was God to tell me, now you can tell your mama. He waited for the perfect time because to speak to me because now everybody else is gone. Can't nobody be in your ear. You ain't got no choice but to listen to me. Right. So I did that. I said, man, mama, it's gonna be hard, but your baby gonna be okay. Yeah, when I tell y'all, she was just like a breath of fresh air. Like that's all she wanted to hear. And for a long time, I was mad at myself. Like, why did you tell her that you were going to be okay. But it's because I am okay. It's been 5 years, and no matter how tough it is, how hard it is, I'm still standing. It's not because of me. It's solely because of God. Because if it was up to me, I would have crashed out a long time ago. We're just gonna be real. But it's because of faith that I have in God, and I know that I've seen hard times, right? I've been like down, down. And He got me out of those dark places. When Mama first died, I had to learn to live on my own, pay my own bills. I was 22, and yeah, I was grown, but I had lived with her up until then. I didn't pay no bills there. I was living rent free. When I was in college, she paid my bills. So I was able to keep my money for myself. I didn't know what responsibility was. So when she died, I lived on my own. Um, had to figure out what struggling was. Um, figure out what paying bills was. I had to figure out what life was. I would drink all the time, partying galore, like it wasn't nothing because I didn't have nothing else to do. Before, my time was consumed with my mama. And so now I got this free time on my hands. And so that's how I looked at it. Um, excuse me. But like, um, losing her, I went through like some of the darkest times you could even imagine. I moved from one place, and then my brother, he was going through a tough time too because we all got our own testimonies. It's not, I can't tell his story, but he was going through a tough time too. And at the time, he had 3 kids, so 4 kids. He had just had his fourth child, and we just trying to figure it out, right? Meanwhile, my sister got a husband. Me and my brother, we all we got is each other. And so, um, I'm like, well, bro, I'm gonna move in. Like my lease is about to be up. I'm gonna move in with you, um, and we can help each other, right? And so, in the midst of that, he had like a crooked landlord. It was like some getting over type stuff. Um, to what the man was doing, he like got over type stuff like, and I know bills were getting paid. Rent was getting paid because I was giving the money, so I was confused. Like if I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna pay my bills. And so all of a sudden he couldn't find like receipts. Like it was just a lot. So long story short, I ended up being homeless. We ended up being homeless, right? Having to move with people, go from this house to that house to that house. It was just a lot. And that was like the toughest time, the darkest time I could have ever been in. Like you lose your mama, and then you lose everybody, everything, because your mama was your whole world. Like I had a storage unit, and then I lost my job. So then I lost the storage with all her stuff in it. It was just like a lot, and I feel like I was being tested time and time again. I didn't think I was strong enough, but God said, "You strong because you my child, and I got you. This is a test, and I know you will be okay." Like, and I'm okay. Like I have my own place now, my own car. Like I'm working 2 jobs. I'm doing well for myself. The same thing goes for my brother and my sister, but I would be lying if I didn't say it wasn't a struggle. It's a struggle, not financially, but it's a struggle mentally and emotionally. It's a battle every day. So I say all that to say, like, if you have your parents, like, if you still have your mom, your dad, like, just cherish them because you never know. Like, mom was 47 when she passed. that is young as hell. You just never know what, life will throw at you. You never know when it'll be your time. So it'll be daytime. You really have to take nothing for granted. Um, I went through all that for a reason because I will never go back there, right? And my way of coping was with liquor. That's how I was masking everything. I was partying, and I felt like at the moment that's what made me better. That's what made me feel better for that moment. I was okay. But in all actuality, none of that is okay. When you go through things like that, you move closer to God, not from Him. It's just a lot that I feel like I just gave a whole testimony, sermon, whatever. I don't know, but I'm just forever grateful um, for the moments that we got to share together. I'm grateful for it all. I'm glad that even though I was only 22 and my mama died, I'm glad God gave me a best friend. Like, that was my dog. Like, I'm just so grateful because some people are here yearning for the love of their moms, and I didn't have to do that because my mama made sure she not only told us that she loved us, but she showed us. Like, when people say unconditional love, that was literally her. So I am forever grateful for that. Like, I really am. Like, I'm just praying that even though we have hard days now, mainly around holidays and stuff, I'm praying that gets better as well. I'm praying that I don't ever lose sight of her voice because at a point in time I forgot what she even sounded like. I had to go watch videos that I had. It's just I'm praying for lots. I really am, but I know that God can do it because He brought me through once before, so He'll bring me through again. And I'm a firm believer, like, I really am. So I know this video was kind of long, maybe drawn out, I don't know, but I just wanted to encourage somebody that if you still have your mom, to love her like never before if you don't have a relationship with your mom. And I understand different circumstances, situations are different, but I pray for you. I pray for your mom, pray for your relationship. I pray that y'all can fix it before it's too late. Um, always love and respect her, cherish her every moment. And that's it, y'all. That's all I got for y'all. I thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you be notified when I post. And I will see y'all later in the next video.